Thank you once again. Welcome to the Political Igaga, where we discuss the politics of the day. And if you're watching for the first time, always feel welcomed. You can subscribe. Feel free to drop a comment in the comment section about our analysis so that we can grow together and can improve our discussion day in, day out. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there is one thing that one interesting topic we have today about the regional alignment of politics in the country. And this is I base my discussion today on the fact that Morara Kebaso, who was once a high critic of President Ruto's project going around the country, showing projects that had been launched and were not completed, has come out to say that he'll be running for the Borabu Constituency Member of Parliament, and he's declared himself as the acting Member of Parliament for the same constituency. Now, the most interesting thing is that the same constituency that Morara Kebaso comes from is where the Jubilee Party Deputy Party Leader Fred Matiangi and the most popular leader right now in the Kisii region comes from. Now, the political alignments of the country and regional alignments dictates that in certain regions you have to align with certain leaders for you to survive politically. For example, Raila Odinga and the ODM party has been the party that has led the Luo Nyanza region over the entire decade that Raila Odinga has been running for office. And ODM party, if you add the ODM ticket in Luo Nyanza, it was already an automatic win. The same thing that happened to the most of the constituencies in Rift Valley, where President Ruto was the presidential candidate, and you could see that the people who were getting the UDA party ticket already were it was like already you have already won, because UDA was the most popular party in that region. And the same thing happening in the Mount Kenya region, where President Ruto was very popular, and of course a lot of MPs being elected from the Mount Kenya region, the 2022 general election, coming from the UDA party. Now, in 2027, for any serious politician, regardless of your standards, regardless of your beliefs, if you want to win, you must align yourself to these popular leaders from certain region. And Morara Kebaso was asked was giving an opinion about Fred Matiangi, and he had to say that Fred Matiangi is not only a voter but a resident of the Borabu constituency, and he is the most popular leader in the region, which is of course is true. As we speak today, Matiangi is the most popular leader in Kisii region, and he's going to get a lot of members of parliament coming in from the Jubilee side. Even the governor and the senator and the woman representative are likely to come from this Matiangi side, which is the Jubilee party. Now, is Morara Kebaso aligning himself to Fred Matiangi? Of course, it's a guess, because Morara Kebaso knows that if you don't align yourself with Matiangi, there is no chance, even if you are as good as possible, there is no chance you can win. And remember that this constituency we are talking about, Borabu constituency, is a constituency where Matiangi himself comes from. Do you think that Matiangi will lose a member of parliament from his constituency? That is going to be practically impossible. If you remember the by-elections that had happened in Kisii, where during the Mbere North, we had the one from Western region, and Kisii at that time had members of a county assembly from different wards who are having by-elections. Matiangi moved in the Kisii region, campaigned for those MCS, and they won without using any high level of finances. Because right now, as we're speaking, Matiangi is the leader of the Kisii region, and wherever you dictate, that person will become a leader from that constituency or from that ward. And in 2027, Morara Kebaso, who was sometimes a critic of Fred Matiangi because sometimes he could give statements that were not politically positive about Fred Matiangi, but right now has come to realize that for him to run or to win that seat, he must align himself with Fred Matiangi. And that will end him joining the Jubilee party, because he knows Morara Kebaso is very intelligent. He knows that that's where he'll get the ticket that will prepare him to win. In any case, he wants to become the member of the Borabu constituency and win. Ladies and gentlemen, you can tell me what you think about Morara Kebaso's decision, of course, to come out and run for, declare himself the acting party, the acting member of parliament for the Borabu constituency, and of course, the positive and indicator that he has given that he will be running with, or he will be working with Matiangi in consulting with Matiangi, who is the most popular party principal from the Kisii region. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, that this is going to be the standard in the entire nation. If you are in a region, and if you are running for even the member of the county assembly, and you are in a region and you want maybe to win, you must align yourself with the most popular person in that region. And this is what's going to determine who or which parties will be carrying what regions. The same thing that Rigathi Gachagua is pushing for, so that Mount Kenya region becomes a DCP party region. Of course, whether the Mount Kenya has been UDA and there has been Jubilee party. Now with the merging of DCP, Rigathi Gachagua pushing, and that's why you can see that a lot of Mount Kenya region are moving down to Amnyoro to consult, to try and be close, so that in 2027 they can get that to Amnyoro ticket. That I'm sorry, the DCP ticket, not to Amnyoro ticket, the DCP ticket, of course, that will enable them win, because in certain regions, once you get that ticket of the principal, for example, in Kisii, in Eastern, if you are going in Eastern region, if you are going to get the wiper ticket, you are already up front compared to your opponent. In Kisii maybe region, if you are going to get the Jubilee ticket, you are already up front compared to your opponent. The same thing that is going to happen in the Mount Kenya region. If you are going to get the DCP ticket, you are way very up. And even in some constituencies, you don't need even to use resources to campaign, because you already have won because of these principles. And that's how the country's politics work, of which is not a very good politics, because sometimes it closes down the youths. Youths will not get a chance maybe to rise to members of parliament, because of sometimes the finances, and sometimes the old politician will push you away, and that's why it's not a very good way to do politics. Ladies and gentlemen, you can tell me what you think about the move that has been made by Morara Kebaso. Do you think that Morara Kebaso is finally coming to agreement with the way politics in our country works? Because that's the only way to survive. You must, in certain regions and at certain times in politics, you must work with certain people, as much as maybe you don't agree fully with their principles and with the type of politics, because that's our the demography of our politics, and that's how it works. That's the atmosphere we have right now. People listen to certain leaders who sometimes direct them where to vote and for whom to vote, and that's why in certain regions you get that the president, governor, down senator, down to the MCA, people are voting in the same parties, which is not a very good type of politics, but the only way to survive in certain regions. Otherwise, you can tell what you think about this analysis, and you can drop a comment in the comment section. For those who are watching for the first time, thank you very much for always supporting this platform. It's because of you we keep growing, and it's because of you that this platform will go to greater heights and will keep improving in our analysis and in our discussions, so that we can get to where we want. And of course, I have been told about the audio or the voice. I'll be working on it, so that at least we are very audible, and you can tend to get what we are saying, and clearly what we talk in this platform. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You can have a good day whenever you are. Stay safe. We'll be meeting next time, where we'll be analyzing more things that are happening in the political hemisphere of the country. This is the Political Igaga. Stay safe whenever you are. Thank you.